What's going on YouTube? It's Repulse, back with another video. In today's video, we are actually going through Chelsea news. There was a lot following our recent victory. As you can see in our heading, we won the Conference League against Real Betis 4-1 yesterday with Moises Caicedo scoring a goal, Jackson scoring the go-ahead goal with his chest. Cole Palmer was excellent. He had 2 assists in the game. Um, this was the 4th goal, the Caicedo goal. Um, but yeah, I wanted to explore the Chelsea news today. As you can see, it's quite on the top, which is one of the things that I will get into. But I know my YouTube channel is NFL and pretty much NFL only, but I am actually a Chelsea fan. I'll be attending the Club World Cup. Um, I may make some content there, may take some videos and formulate one big video because I'll be in Philadelphia to watch them play. I think it's Club Leon that they play. Um, let's see if it allows me to see. Yeah, I'll be, I believe, at all 3 of these games. If not at least these 2, I might miss the Leon game. Um, but yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. Looking forward to seeing the new signings that we make. Cause the window opens in. Is it a short month? Okay, so it opens on Sunday. Um, to see what Chelsea can bring in and take to the Club World Cup, which could be a big financial opportunity for them. Obviously, the winner I think makes $100 million. So again, big opportunity, especially after the way we ended the season, getting Champions League and also winning a trophy. Um, and if y'all want to know my thoughts on the team, I think that Maresca should stay. Um, if we see Um, let's see if we could pull up an image of the starting 11. That is not it. I don't think any of these are it, actually. Um, no. Yeah, nothing's here. Oh, maybe here? Yeah. Okay, this was our starting lineup for the Betis game. Obviously, there was a lot of rotation. Gusto, I don't think really fits the system. Jorgensen, number 2 keeper. Chalaba, I think, is a rotational player with Tossin. Badiashile, I don't think will play every game. But I think the front 5 and Caicedo being pretty much a lone midfielder when Enzo Fernandez bombs up the field was pretty much our strength. Obviously, we need a new striker, which is something I'll get into today. And Sancho came on, scored a goal in place of Pedro Neto, and Nani went over to the right. Reece James came on, obviously cup captain, and Malo Gusto was playing awful. Was the reason why we conceded the first goal. Colwell came on for Badiashile, I believe. And then Dewsbury Hall came in because he was one of our best players in the Conference League, as well as Mark Gies, so they both got the opportunity to come on and play the last minutes of the game. But in terms of Chelsea news today, there are 2 headlines that I want to get into, um, and that will be if I scroll down. Jadon Sancho, obviously we have the obligation for 25 million from Manchester United if we finish 14th or above, but we are allowed to get out of it if we pay $5 million in compensation back to Manchester United, which means that we pay $5 million. Sancho doesn't become a Chelsea player, but it seems like they want to keep Jadon Sancho, and I know Sky Sports came out saying that we did, but the thing is the salary. If we look here, we can search up Jadon Sancho's wages. Um, and he's on £250 a week, or 250,000 pounds a week, not 250. Sorry, but um, yeah, it's a lot of money. It doesn't really fit in the Chelsea wage structure. So obviously, there's going to be a new contract if he were to become a Chelsea player. I think he fit in the dressing room well enough. I also think he played enough games and made enough of an impact for $25 million to be justifiable, especially in today's market. But I could see him going back if the contract is not agreeable because I think he'll be somewhere around the $115,000 or £150,000 mark per week with incentive driven contracts that we tend to give out those long term incentive driven contract deals. And that means cutting more than half of his wages. So I don't know if he'd really be in agreement to that, but obviously if we search up his stats, he was decent this year. Had a really good game in his debut against Bournemouth. 7 goal contributions in the Prem in 31 matches. Didn't start all of those, obviously. Came off the bench in um, a good amount of those. But if we go to transfer market, I'm sure it'll show even better. Um, yeah, 5 and 10 in total. So 15 goal contributions in 2,500 minutes. Not the worst stats in the world, obviously. I think could have definitely done more. Could have scored more goals. I think he was pretty reluctant to shoot at times, but I mean, was decent. Um, a lot of the assists came in the Conference League, as you can see, 2 against Heidenheim in the group stage, 2 against Legia Warsaw in the Conference League quarterfinals, and 1 at home against them, which we lost, but at the same time, we are already up 3 now. And in the Prem, this game against Bournemouth, he was absolutely electric. He came on at halftime, assisted Christopher Nkunku for us to win that game. I don't know where everything just went, but yeah, electric in that game. Um, he got another one in the West Ham game. Um, I don't recall. I don't think he did, because it was Caicedo to Jackson. It was Jackson to Palmer. Maybe maybe he took the short free kick to Nicholas Jackson at the start of the game. That's the only thing I can think of, but I'm not really sure. 2 against Brighton, he won the pen and then he assisted Cole Palmer. First goal against Southampton and then cut in against Tottenham to get the first goal out of our 4 in that comeback. Assisted Cole Palmer against Palace, I guess. And then scored against Ipswich. That was a screamer to the top right corner. That was a great goal. So, a decent season. Had a really off stretch, but the whole team had an off stretch here. Um, where we just were barely winning games. Um, yeah, it was a rough period. So don't really take it all against him because barely won. Um, Won against Tottenham, Leicester, Southampton, West Ham, and Wolves, which are games you expect to win. But yeah, I think he's a solid player. I think for 25 million, he wouldn't be the worst obligation in the world. I think he could definitely be a rotational left winger for us. I know we're in for Gittins from Borussia Dortmund, um, and then I don't know what other links. I've seen Hato a lot from Ajax. I think he'll be a good left back signing if we're able to get him to play that depth piece behind Mark Cucurella and also play a little bit at the center back position. And then another one that I've seen, I'm thinking, oh, Ekatike and Gyökeres. Uh, there has been more. Um, if I pull up Pice's account, I'll be able to show you. Um, But yeah, those are the signings that I think could happen. Maybe not all in this little uh, window, but here we go. More news on Chelsea and Cuckoo leaving Chelsea this summer. I think that's pretty guaranteed. I think that was going to happen during the January window. I just couldn't find a suitor or bids during that time. But I think his exit's needed. He doesn't really fit into the squad plans. That false 9, fake 10 role doesn't really work, and that's what Nkunku or Felix are both. So I expect them both to leave in this summer. But here's the big news of the day today. We had, if I can just find the actual real post instead of the medical being booked, it'll be somewhere down here. It was right before this. Here we go. Liam Delap to Chelsea. Here we go. There's an agreement in place as his £30 million release clause will be triggered. Maresca's impact, and we also know I believe Joe Shields was key to this, as well as Champions League football. Um, I know Manchester United were heavily thought of in this process, but ultimately them finishing in 15th and not winning the Europa League meant that Delap chose us, and I think this is a good signing. I think he could be a very good number 2 striker. Again, if we get one of the Gyökeres or Delaps, you don't need to see that. The Astros were horrible today, but if we go to Pice's account here, um, huh. I guess a new Brazilian talent may be coming into the club. But here we go. We have Delap, Sancho news. But there is, yeah, here we go. After leading Delap, it will depend on opportunities, as Chelsea and Liverpool are informed on Ekitike, and there will be contacts with both clubs in the next day. We will know more next week on Ekitike, which shows that um, the deal might not be done before the Club World Cup. It maybe he comes in July during the summer. Um, so yeah, he may not be registered for the Club World Cup if we were able to make a deal, because it seems like this one will be waited out a little bit. But Ekitike, a striker that I like a lot. Um, I think could be the number one guy, and Delap can be that developmental player. I know Ekitike still has to develop to get stronger, but I think he's better against the teams that actually play football against us, which would be Champions League opposition. And I think Delap can be that low block player. He's able to use his head. He's able to strike a ball brilliantly. So I don't think he'd struggle having a crack outside the goal, or not outside the goal, outside the box. Um, and Ekatike could be that player that we play against uh, teams that are trying to play against us, like the Liverpools, the Man Cities, not low block football. Um, Also, more news, as I just said, we love Jamie Bino Gittins at the left winger position, but there are more options. I heard links to Nico Williams today, too. I don't know how much that's truthful because he's on like 400 grand a week at Borussia Dortmund. Or, no, Nico Williams is at 400 grand a week at Bilbao. Gittins has the affordable wages. Just going to be an expensive player. He's young. He's promising. Obviously, those transfer fees are going to be high. Um, yeah, this is the first news that came out about Jadon Sancho. Um, it's basically Chelsea wants to keep him, but they don't want to pay the wages that he's asking for. So they have no problem sending him back to Manchester United. As you can see, some Delap clips in the bottom. Um, he was great for Ipswich this season. Scored 12 goals in a relegated side. I don't take that lightly. I think that's a great accomplishment. I think he could be a great player for us. Um, so yeah, those are all the news today. I know this is my first Chelsea related post, so it's probably all over the place because I was just kind of scrolling through Twitter, but I'll definitely have this more organized in the future. I just wanted to share my thoughts about the signings. And obviously, I'm not the best at making these videos because this is my first one correlating to football that is not American football. So, yeah, I was kind of just scrolling through Twitter, showing y'all the news and my opinions on them. I like the Delap signing, but I like him more as a second striker. Obviously, I want an Ekitike to come through or a Gyökeres from Sporting. I know he has the 65 million euro release clause, which would be, um, or maybe it's 70 and it's 60 million euros. But yeah, here we go. This is what I was trying to refer to. Club's preferences for Sancho to stay and adjust his wage to fit in with Chelsea's incentives-driven structure. But Chelsea would return the player if they can't agree terms, which I think is the right thing to do. Can't give up on an entire wage structure just for a player that I believe is just going to be a depth piece for us. Yes, he fits in the dressing room. Yes, he contributed a decent amount this year, but I think Neto and Madueke were both serviceable enough. And we have Esteval coming in next year, who I think can be a great player for us. Had a goal and assist today for Palmeiras. I think it was in the Copa Libertadores, but he was absolutely immense. I was watching that game because obviously Brazil and the U.S. have similar time zones. Um, so yeah, I was able to catch that one live. He's just a special talent. I think he's someone that could start for us next year, but I don't want to put too much expectation on him. Um, but yeah, it was a insanely busy day, and I think it's going to be an insanely busy transfer window, especially starting on Sunday. So that's the news roundup for today. We got our first here we go of the actual window before the pre-signings were agreed to. In Liam Delap, I know we have Esasugo, Quenda coming in 2026. We're looking for Emmanuel Omega to come in 2026 as well. I think that's the right thing to do. Keep him at Strasbourg for one more year. He's 6'5". I think he can develop into a good striker. Sorry, I got thirsty from talking too much, but I think he can develop into a decent striker. Paez is coming this summer. Esteval's coming this summer. I'm trying to think of other people. Um, I haven't heard of Matsuno or Gabriel Mech in a while. I wonder what's happening with those. May have just cooled our interest and gone for other Brazilian talents. Uh, like Alisson Marins, or is this Vasco da Gama in Portugal? Um, I don't recall, but Ryan Chelsea. Oh, I guess it doesn't really show anything. Um, it wants us to get Ryan Cherokee, I guess, but I think he's off to Man City after the recent links. As you can see, Altuve Muse was not happy. This is a lot of NFL news. As you can see, I haven't posted in a while, but a lot of it is Texans related news. Because I am also an NFL fan. My account is pretty predominantly shown that I'm an NFL fan, Texans fan, but I'm more of a Chelsea fan at heart, I believe. More invested into uh European so- European football, sorry, rather than American football. But yeah, that's the news roundup for today. Sorry for it being completely disorganized. I'll definitely try to make better videos in the future, but I just wanted to share my thoughts on the way the current transfer market is going. Not Steven Adams playing for the Rockets, although I am a Rockets fan. We'll end it on this. Our club captain holding up the trophy. Yeah, it was a great day yesterday. I got to win the Conference League, which I think was expected, but a first trophy for all of them is a first trophy. Think it was a decent competition just to let them get their hungry feeling of winning a trophy under their feet so they want to eventually win more. But yeah, I'll end it at that. Thank y'all so much for watching. Um, and I will see y'all in the next video, which will be 1,000 times more organized than this. I apologize for the quality of this video, but it'll still go up just so y'all understand my thoughts. But again, thank you for watching. It's Repulse, and I'm out. Peace.